For decades, the lakeshore residents of Ford Lake and sometimes Belleville Lake downstream have been plagued with an appearance of a surface scum of a group of algae called blue-green algae or cyanobacteria.
I've lived here 18 years, and about 5 years ago in the summer, from the second half of the summer, it got so bad that we couldn't even open our windows. The smell was just so horrible. And so I called the township and wondered what was going on, if there's anything we can do. And because the township is about 70,000 people, just a small portion of them live on the lake. But if we could tell the rest of the township who have given up on the lake that we are making improvements, and that with Dr. Lehman's help and the boards of trustees' help, we can make it so nice that they'll want to come to this lake and fish and water ski and tube or whatever they want to do. And you know, a day like today, you know, you'd expect 50 boats out there. There might be 5, you know.
The crux of the problem seemed to be the lack of oxygen that developed in the deep water of the lake during the summertime. So we came up with a couple of possible remediation strategies, but they would require experimentation, and experimentation at the whole lake scale. So I did present some different possible options, some different management options to the citizens of the community, and one of them was to release water from the bottom of the dam before conditions became so deleterious. Last summer, 2006, we conducted the experiment before the lake turned bad. We managed to flow enough water through the bottom that the deep water was renewed. It never lost its oxygen, and indeed the lake was in excellent condition, I'd have to say, during the bulk of the summer. Now this summer we decided to try an option B, because the historical flow of water down the Huron River told us that there would not be enough water in some years to conduct the selective withdrawal experiments. So we had to have some alternative ways of managing this lake. We thought maybe if we can supply oxygen in sufficient quantity right into the bottom of the lake, we could counteract the effect of the respiration by the bacteria that live in the lake mud. So the apparatus that you see here is a relatively high-tech, new technology that's designed to deliver oxygen at a very high efficiency into a water body. And our initial calculations were that we would need to supply 1 ton of oxygen per day. For our experimental purposes, this year we were only able to get a pump that could supply 750 pounds per day of oxygen. And so instead of trying to treat the entire lake, we decided to concentrate on a region of the lake that is closer to the dam, so that when the water finally leaves at the bottom, it might not be so anoxic.
Projects like this are introducing more oxygen so the natural cleaning process can be accelerated. And in this case, the years of excessive pollutants can be cleaned up rapidly. This is the kind of problem that runs rampant in most urban lakes, many urban streams, and causes some of the problems you've seen in places like Lake St. Clair, where you read about large weed growth, odor problems, and this is basically an example of how those can naturally be addressed.
We were able to supply lots of oxygen to the lake, and although it didn't turn into bubbles and go off to the atmosphere, the oxygen that we were supplying at depth into that water added additional buoyancy to the water at depth. And a lot of that water floated up towards the surface and did not stay at the bottom of the lake. Consequently, supplying oxygen to the lake was not a problem, but supplying it to the right place in the lake seems to be our next technical challenge. And we either have to improve on that aspect through a research, or we have to explore even a plan C or a plan D, other alternative ways to remediate the situation in this lake.